Okay, so Nicole, we are doing a series where we interview our endorsed service providers, right? So do a quick introduction. Your name, what do you do?
I'm Nicole Vuong. I'm from State Farm Insurance, Tom Romano's agency. I've been in insurance agency for 15 years now. And what we do is we provide homeowners building rental property policies for all the clients around Southern
Okay,
California.
so let's talk about case that happened this week, right? Over the last 12 months, we helped over 800 families moving into their new home. So you deal a lot with our clients. So this week, let's pick an example. What's a typical common misconception, misunderstanding of people when they buy a new home, for example?
Okay.
As far as property insurance is concerned.
Property. Well, we have the first-time buyer who don't understand that insurance is part of the home purchase process, whether you have a loan or not. When you have a loan, you need to secure a policy for the lender. But when you don't have a loan, you need to secure a homeowner policy or a rental property policy for yourself.
For you, right? So
Yeah.
if you're buying a 700,000 home, all cash,
Yeah.
the question is, do I have to have insurance? Well, you don't have to. But if this 700,000 home burned down, or if there's an earthquake tomorrow, then what happened to your 700,000 investment, for example?
Well, the structure will be gone. You still have the land, so that's what's left, your land, if
Right.
it's demolished.
Yeah, so let's talk about condo insurance, for example, right? If I'm buying a condo, the HOA already have an insurance. Like, why should I buy another property insurance? Like, what's the point?
Okay, so the difference between a condo policy and a homeowner policy is that the homeowner policy covers the structure, what we call the building structure, and everything that is inside it, which is a comprehensive policy. When you live in a condo, the structure is covered by the HOA, and we call those a master policy, but anything that is inside of the property is not covered. So if you update your kitchens, if you update your floorings, if you update the walls, the cabinet, those are not covered on the master policy. You need
Even the plumbing, right? So the plumbing will only cover up to the exterior of the building. So now it gets halfway done.
Or sometimes the plumbing, it's covered, but you have interior that you've updated. You don't want, let's say the building is built in 1964, you don't want to have a 1964 cabinet. You want the up-to-date cabinet that you have in your unit.
And this is my last question before we begin, because we are about to have class here. So last question is this. What is this umbrella insurance policy?
The umbrella, if you think of an umbrella, you're covering yourself and everything underneath the umbrella. So you cover yourself, all the liability that you're exposed to. So whether it's car accident liability, libel and slander, if you were sued for any reasons, somebody come to your house and trip and fall, or if Rudy says something to me and I don't like what he's saying, I'm suing him for slander, those kind of things are liability. So the umbrella covers everything under you, whether it's your home, your rental properties, your cards, anything.
So typical scenario happening this week, husband and wife, and they have teenage kids, right? Mm-hmm. So they just closed escrow on a 700,000 home, and their teenage kids drive the car and bam, they hit somebody and they die, for example, right? Mm-hmm. The person that they hit. If you don't have this umbrella insurance policy, so what happened is that now the spouse of the victim who just get hit by a car accident will potentially draw lawsuits against
the driver.
Yeah, the driver, which is your
driver
teenage
is underage,
kid.
The parents are responsible for the driver, so the parents are liable in a sense. Unless the teenage kids, it's independent, which highly because he's a teenager. So the parents now are going to be sued for that accident.
So personally, this is how we use it. This is how I use it, right? So I'm working with Nicole here to make sure we have this $1 million umbrella insurance policy. This is in addition to, on top of the asset protection that our another endorsed service providers, who's basically you should not own anything. Like, for example, my house, like, there's nothing. So if Nicole here don't like the way I talk to her now, and she wants to file a lawsuit against me, the most she gets is my suit, right? This is about the only thing I own, right? So for our clients who own a house, it shouldn't be under your name. It should be under a different entity. Now, this umbrella insurance policy is in addition to that. There's an uphill battle. If you wanna sue somebody like that, man, you must have done something really, really bad to pierce. Not only you have to pierce these corporate layers that own that house. Now there's this additionally there's this umbrella insurance policy on top of it. So man, that's gonna be really safe. Not because you did something wrong. In this example that just happened this week, for example, what if there's an accident? And the accident is not, why the lawyers file a lawsuit? Because they're looking for an easy target, basically, right? So if they look you up and you actually own a house, 700,000 home, and you have this 200, 500,000 equity in the house, the lawyer's just gonna go after you just to settle, basically. So we want to prevent things like that from happening, and that's really cheap, right? Umbrella insurance
umbrella
policy.
They start at $1 million coverage, and it's usually about $250 a year, and you can go up to 10 million. If, that's based on individual what they need. But
it's $250 a year.
That's the basic.
That's really cheap. Okay, so anything else you wanna add before we begin the?
No, I think we covered everything.
If you want to learn more about this kind of stuff, if you learned something from Nicole in the last 5 minutes, we have our Investors Club. Our Real Estate Investors Club is every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. From 7 to 9 is our Real Estate Investors Club. You're welcome to come. If for 2 hours, we have our Endorsed service providers, one by one, people like Nicole here. Is going to do a solid 2 hours class about that. So if you learned something in the last 5 minutes, make sure you come to Tuesday, 7 o'clock, 7 to 9. How do people call you? What's your phone number?
626-656-1138. That's my office direct line. Thank you.
All right.